Hey guys, come with me as I design, build, kitbash, paint, and use this Refinery ship in a comic book panel and animation down the line. So let's go. Let's jump right in. I love Battlestar Galactica, I love Star Wars, I love sci-fi in general. You know, everyone can do a Colonial Viper space fighter or a Star Trek ship. But what hangs out in the background when these guys are off floating through the universe, causing chaos and havoc and living heroic adventures? You need someone like this in the background.
Why didn't you outrun him? I thought you said this thing was fast.
Watch your mouth, kid, or you're gonna find yourself floating home.
You know, when you're designing a spaceship, you're trying to tell the story of the spaceship as well. So for me, I was like, where do they get their energy source? Is it dilithium crystals? Or if it's antimatter, where does that all get assembled? So I was like, you know what would be great is an ore refinery ship. They can land on a planet, they can dig it up, they can process it, they can refine it, and then they can ship it to the rest of the galaxy to use as fuel. People often ask, why do you have so many model kits? And it's precisely for a project like this where you want to make something new and interesting to use, and you need pieces from other kits to make it. This wasn't a model kit, this was a series of greeblies I had in my collection that I bashed together to create a spaceship. So this one, I started with a drawing. I'm a big fan of UFOs. And I decided, what if you put 3 squashed spheres together? As I'm drawing, I'm figuring out, oh, I should have an engine area that can be a rectangle, and the cockpit area or bridge is sort of triangular. So the way I saw it is it sort of lands on this planet, and it has landing gear that come out, and part of the landing gear allows you to drill into the surface and extract, and then as it's extracted here and it begins the refining and then finishing process here, you can then pump it out through the top of it to various starships. I'm flying away, I'm flying. No? I'm a big fan of Star Wars and the way they kind of create panels and areas of visual interest on their spaceships by using different types of greeblies from other kits. And I did a lot of research and found some inspiration in an old frame of Battlestar Galactica, where basically what they did is they took 35mm film canisters from the 70s and just slapped them together, and they're like, hey, great, spaceship. The top of these are all tank wheels that I used. The bottom ones are also tank wheels. To create the panels on it, I actually just took sheets of plastic and cut them in pieces. Maybe that would be how they patch a hole in space, would be to drop a panel on top of it. And since these are round, I made a circle so that it would look appropriate for the shape and not just a square panel dropped on everything. Too many panels, it's too busy. Too few, it doesn't look interesting. So I'm trying to find a balance with just enough to make it interesting and attract the eye. So once the model kit is designed and I'm building it, I'm also thinking about how do you paint it down the line? And I went through this great book of sci-fi model kits. I sort of settled on looking at this Star Destroyer. It's just a primer coat of gray, and he's coming in and outlining all of the panels in black. When I started painting, I got this Vallejo black and white set because some of the darker shadow colors for white, they're not actually black or gray. These are a series of browns and beiges, and then outlined with a little bit of black, and then highlighted with like an ivory color, which is an off-white. And then when you go to the top, you want to do different panels of different colors. I actually used this Kriegsmarine World War II battleship color set so that I could use, you know, a light gray, a neutral gray, a dark green. It actually creates a really rich canvas that people can look at, and it reads as battleship on it. So when I was thinking about how I use this in an animation, it becomes a question of how would this move through space? How fast would it move? And also, what are the interesting shots that convey movement? You know, is it just a side shot where it's slowly moving across? Or is it an empty frame and then it comes into frame that way? You know, Star Trek used to do a lot of their shots as sort of 3/4 angles where it would come in like that. And it's just more visually interesting than a flat profile or an up or down, you know? Sometimes it would get really close to camera like this and would travel across. You know, you're slowly building the ship's character and believability. The speed with which it moves, the slower it is, it creates a sense of weight than something that's small and agile. So strap in, we're gonna bring the spaceship to life. To life. To life. Wasn't that enjoyable? If you want to see more of my models come to life, please pick up your copy of V2039 Book 1, Death Waves Goodbye. V2039.com.